Why are we talking about this stuff on the air?
I'm asking.
Oh, boy.
Everybody, welcome to Sound Up, Sound Off. My name is Chris. This is Sean, who likes to start the live broadcast too early.
Oh, man.
And we are ready for the show. And that's not even right. Production crew, you're fired.
This is a brand new...
If I could only fire the production.
Of course,
But I can't. That's not Savannah. All right.
Yeah, she looked really sad.
Getting into the show here, what I am excited for is, well, first off, if you're your first time joining us, this is Sound Up, Sound Off, or if you're listening on the podcast, what's up, everybody? We do this show once a week, and we like to discuss some topics, and then give everybody their favorite ASS segment, and then we also have a couple special announcements coming up that we're going to do. We're going to do it at the end, or you're going to do it at the beginning? Okay, we're going to do it at the end.
Yeah,
so,
I'm just trying to make sure audio's up. I don't even see us live on the page right now. So, there's people watching, so apparently we are live.
Cool. All right, so we are live, and if you're listening on podcast, thanks for subscribing to the Sound Up podcast as well. So, this show, a couple topics I got on deck here, Sean, is the fact that it is now August. So what is cool about August to me is it's the gateway to September. How do you like that? Kindergarten knowledge. All right,
This is going to go NFL, isn't it?
this is going to the fact that this week, preseason football really gets off the ground. Thursday night, Bears, Panthers will be. That's wait, festive in my house. The Hall of Fame game was last Thursday, which actually I heard was a good game. Like, it came down like a last-second.
I forget who won, but anyway, it was like a last-second thing for the Hall of Fame game, which is the official preseason kickoff to the NFL. Okay. My question is this. Do you watch preseason NFL football?
I do, actually, yes.
Okay.
I didn't watch the Hall of Fame game, which I should have, because it was my team, one of the teams.
Did they win?
No.
Okay, they were the one that got beat like last second, like throwing the okay.
Yeah.
Super Bowl memories.
I didn't get the first second. By the way, I just fixed the audio. We were on the wrong mic there for a second. Even though I had it selected, it switches now. ECam.
So out of curiosity, did they hear anything we just did with an intro?
They could hear us. It just sounded not as good as it does now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So,
all right. As long as you could hear me.
Yeah.
I hate not being heard.
We can hear you.
People don't answer your questions. All right,
Mike.
go with the response.
So,
do you watch preseason football?
I do. I did not the other night because actually I didn't even know it was on. Nothing anywhere told me that it was coming on, because I don't really watch much ESPN this time of year.
Yeah,
and I didn't even realize it was last week that it was starting.
And they really usually do, I think, hype the first preseason game more so than I feel like they did last year.
This year.
Because last year's Hall of Fame game was actually the Bears, which is why I knew about it. Like, I actually watched it. So,
but Google, you did a horrible job, because usually my Google thing that I read every day tells me like when my team's going to play.
Google.
You didn't do that, so I'm going to switch. No one has a competitor to that feature, but
poor Google. All right, so I actually do watch preseason football as well. I think not for any other benefit than to just, it's like it just gets you in the mood. It gets you ready for the fall. Gives you something. There's been like a month and a half drought.
I'm with them on the football thing.
I mean, it's been like a month and a half drought of sports that are of any significance.
Who wants to do a Sound Up Now fantasy football league?
I'm not a fantasy I don't know. Like, I guess I'm more fandom like one team. Fantasy football, I'd have to pay attention to all these different players from different
only
teams.
Bears players.
Only Bears players.
It would be great.
But
last place every year.
I think we'll see. I think also heading into the end of August as college football starts up, I'm not gonna say I see more commercials for college football, but I really notice more commercials for college
also
football
where we live.
season getting up. Yeah, okay, you're right. We don't really have a pro South Carolina team. We Panthers, who hopefully get beat this Thursday.
Who might become the South Carolina Panthers soon.
Really?
Yeah, you haven't heard of that?
Where
They might be moving to Rock Hill or Spartanburg area.
Oh.
But it still is going to be the Carolina Panthers, because
it is Carolina Panthers. It's not the North Carolina Panthers right now.
Yeah, so I don't think it would matter as much, except for that's going to hurt Charlotte.
Gotcha.
But it's actually technically only 20 miles away, so a lot of people
Rock Hill's like right there.
So a lot of people who live in Charlotte would still be able to stay in Charlotte, I assume. It's hard when a team. I feel bad for Oakland. Like, those are some of like the most crazy fans in the world.
Yeah.
And now they're going to go to Vegas, which is a weird place to have a football team.
Well, it worked out for the hockey team though. Vegas Knights did really well when they, as far as like the fandom that followed their basis
Didn't
in there.
know they existed.
What, they made it to like the finals last year?
I just started watching hockey last year,
Oh
like
my
the last
gosh.
10 games.
Adam, get this kid on board with hockey here.
Yeah.
But anyway, that would be. I don't know if Rock Hill, that area I've driven through there. I don't think that's really good for an NFL team, but it's probably cheaper to be in that area. So anyway, hope you're watching some preseason football. We're moving on to that and be ready for a lot of sports topics over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 months. And continuing on, you look sad. What's your topic?
We lost last week. Oh, I just wanted to let everybody know the newsletter's going out tomorrow morning, and I'm going. I realize not everyone reads newsletter, gets the newsletter, or cares about newsletters. I don't. I'm really bad about reading a lot of newsletters.
I like skimming newsletters.
But because of the recent shift we made, where we brought the dashboard, everyone's using a new dashboard. I had a few members reach out and say, "Hey, everything's changed." In our mind, we've been talking about it since January, but I get it if you're not
in our mind. We've literally been talking about
it. But if not all of our members are in our Facebook group, not all of our members follow us on social media, not all of our members care about you personally or me. Maybe not any of them. I don't know. Do you guys love us? I'm just kidding. Green Arrow loves us. Maybe today. So anyway,
I get it. You don't.
I want to make sure we touch all bases. We might maybe we should take these parts of the segments and put them on our YouTube channel, because I feel like I've noticed some people that follow us on YouTube aren't in the group. I looked this up the other day. Aren't in the group and don't follow us on other places but the YouTube channel.
Okay.
And so it's only a couple that are on there. But anyway, so
he's trying to read comments in case you wonder what the pulse is.
Is that blurry or am I getting? Oh, no.
That's probably just to fade out.
Anyway, so we are going to make a couple of changes on the dashboard soon, but they really won't affect you too much. They actually will help you. Literally, there's a new red button that you may have already seen called Page Help. That name may change depending. If you have suggestions on a button that helps you with the page, I'd like to hear them. We'd actually really let's community drive the name of this button. But the idea of that is when you go to a specific page, there will be a button on there with help for the page, whether it's a video, and some other things as well. If you go to the SoundUp Now studio, you can see it there. You can press the button, and there's a video where I'm showing you different ways you can edit with that and stuff, as well as some text. It's the flash briefing setup page. There's the image size and stuff like that. It's there. Click on that. There's also the little green question marks. I almost said arrows because of his name.
Green Arrow. Sorry, Green Arrow.
There's a little green question marks.
We could make them arrows.
We could. Hover over those. They have they're tooltips. They can help you out with information as well. But speaking of the flash briefing setup, we have, when you sign up, and this is really what we're doing. So a lot of you have already signed up, but maybe you want to suggest this. We are trying over and over again every month. I think we're always, how can we make it easier? How can we make things more efficient? And right now, we are going to take the Connect Amazon button, the Custom Skill tab, and the Flash Briefing Setup, and it's going to be on one page because it just makes sense, because Flash Briefings are skills. It's going to go in one place. So you'll just go to that one place when you're just signed up, or when maybe you want to create a new Flash Briefing, Connect Amazon, create the Flash Briefing or the Custom Skill, boom, then you can upload your stuff to your station and keep going. So really trying to consolidate, simplify, make things easy. And speaking of that too, I'll go ahead and jump this out. We are having, if you're using the recorder on the upload page, there is a little bit of an issue with the headliner function, but the SoundUp Studio is working really, really well. I've been testing it. I've had members say that they love it. You don't have to add multiple tracks. You can go in there and just do the same thing you're doing in other pages. So go to the SoundUp Now Studio Beta and try out that recorder there. And let us know any suggestions that you have with that. What are you doing?
My phone was on.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
All right, so definitely, I agree. We're trying to make it easy as possible for you. Of course, we realize there's always going to be questions, and anytime you have a new software, or you're using a new SaaS product or any kind of product for the most part, even hardware, you're always going to have questions. You're always going to have need a little bit of help. So we're just not only with page help and the green question mark button so you can hover over. It's some people don't even pay attention to, but there is help always available, and of course in our customer support. That topic, which was more like a promo commercial, was kind of a lead-in to my actually next topic, and I watched this video, and I don't get to consume as much video content as I used to years ago, just from a time standpoint. But this one popped up in my feed that was subliminal in my feed from Gary V, talking about the state of the union for 2020 marketing. So if you didn't know, it's August. We're coming up on the end of 2019. 2020 is right on the cusp.
I cannot wait for the year 2020 because I just want to say it over and over again.
Doesn't it
so
sound
weird.
so? I just said this in
Super futuristic.
I just had a real estate meeting. Yes, 2020 was like the benchmark year when you watch sci-fi movies in like the 80s and 90s. It's like the year 2020. In 2020, this will happen. It's gonna be 2020. So really kind of fun that's where we're gonna be. But anyway, he's talking about marketing, and he was talking about his opinion. If you watch Gary V and consume any of his content, or just kind of know his basic punchlines and rhetoric for what he thinks from a marketing and content standpoint, was really huge on voice technology. Like, if you're not in that arena yet, you should be. Like, that's weird.
It won't let me like or reply to comments for some reason in the stream.
If you're not in the voice arena, if you're not doing podcasts, if you're not in voice technology like Alexa and Google with flash briefings and custom skills, he is like all in on all things voice. So, Sean, my question is, obviously we have a company called SoundUp, but are you really bullish on voice technology for 2020, like the immediacy of, 2020 is around the corner. So are you long-term, or are you bullish like 2020 if you're not doing custom skills, if you're not doing flash briefings, audiograms, podcasting, all the things that we do at SoundUp?
I actually am, and I'm a lot more recently. When I looked at some of the changes that we were making on the back end and how much easier it was just for the skills, and I've been using it a lot more. There was a moment where I did flash briefings all the time. I listened to them all the time. But now, like, we turn on the lights in this room with an Alexa. I can't tell you the last time I used a switch up there. And it's way more convenient. It's way easy. Just voice stuff in general, I've been doing a lot more. And I think that, especially in the car also, I think that it's just going to keep going. I think the more people that make skills and get outside of the flash briefing realm and start actually making skills, that's when it takes off. And I think people...
Custom skills. I think people are becoming more comfortable with voice. Even at my house, my wife was not for at all the voice talking thing. But now even her and my daughter both use it. My daughter, the other day, she actually said, "Where's the Google? Because it plays music better," or something like that. And it's just interesting to see. My 2.5-year-old said, "Hey Google," the other day. It was kind of creepy and funny at the same time. But then she responded, and he got like shocked. I think that generation is really going to catch on to it. And I think the younger ones, I see a lot more people doing voice to text. And maybe it's because we're in the realm. I don't know. I just see a lot more people using voice, I feel like, in the past even 6 months than I did a year ago. And so I think next year, and as we grow, and when Amazon puts out the updates they've been talking about, where it's just a little smarter, I think I'm very bullish on it. Also because if you look at how content's going, there's even rumors that Facebook's going to put their stories more forefront and more Snapchat-like than their feed. The feed will become a secondary tab. So people are listening to things more in that way. Podcasts will become more popular. So I do think there's going to be an interesting shift to where people are multitasking and listening to things than they are reading through a news feed. Right.
So
yeah. But
does that even answer your question, or
yeah,
I go off on a
I would
tangent?
agree. No. Bullish was the question. So to explain it, I would go bullish too. And I think there's even times over this last year in 2019 that I was pushing you, like saying custom skills, like we got to push our membership towards custom skills because that is where it's going. And I was probably even more adamant to you guys as well that you need to be in this arena. So I'm going to be even more adamant moving towards 2020. If you are not in the custom skill realm, a skill that is expandable, that you can add functionality to, but you got to get in the game now, be on the frontier of it, and go ahead and get that set up. You can do that through us and get that set up now because Yeah, I think voice technology is funny. Watching my daughter, not only with music, which is still like one of the number one usages for smart devices like Alexa and Google Home, but what I see her do more now than even music is timers. Like set a timer for this. Alexa, do a timer for this. So that just speaking to more functionality for this coming generation. Remember we talked about last week where your cell phone, I mean, like this was science fiction. Voice technology, walking into a smart home, walking into a smart office, into your car, and just being able to talk and things happen seemed science fiction 15 years ago in the early 2000s and was like prophesized as this is coming. And it's here now. Like, it's actually here, and we're going to live through this revolution where our kids and stuff are living through voice-activated technologies in their day-to-day life. So to be in the forefront and start now as a business or a brand or a company or an individual that's trying to provide value and give some sort of value in that arena, like there's just no reason not to start, especially when we're trying to make it this easy for you.
Did you ever watch Knight Rider as a kid?
So that's my rant on it.
As a kid, did you ever watch Knight Rider?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes.
That was basically a Tesla and an Alexa mixed together. I saw a commercial the other day with that car and the whole thing, and it made me think about it. And I was like, huh. And I went and watched a video, like just some clips. The show was really corny, by the way. But just watching that, I'm like, man, we kind of have that.
Yep.
He was like, take me to somewhere. And it's like, yep, you can do that now. That's real. Or even like what I think Power Rangers did it. Dick Tracy with a watch and stuff like that. Voice stuff.
I was going to say, are we morphing? I didn't know.
Yeah, no, that's
SoundUp Now, you may morph.
Well, I mean, plastic surgery has made tons of advances. It's just takes a little more time. But they did have the watches that they would talk into. So Dick Tracy had a watch, and did they have that in Star? I didn't really watch Star Trek. I wasn't.
Yeah, Star Trek. I mean, it was like here's the biggest Star Trek reference, which is existent now, but will become more common. Elevators. Walk in the elevator, floor 37. Like when they walked into an elevator on the ship, they would say where they want to go, and it would take them.
That's true.
Like that is existing now in office buildings.
Yeah,
it's cool.
You know, it's funny. Star Wars, they didn't have any kind of cool technology. They have cell phones or anything.
A little lightsaber. All right, moving on to our. Well, wait. Do you want to do this first, or do you want to do our favorite segment?
Let's do this first.
Okay, go ahead. Just so we get a little back and forth.
We have some hats, and we want to give these away.
I'm not putting that on my head right now.
I'm not either. We're gonna mess up our hair.
Truth.
But can I hang it right here? There you go. We are going to do a giveaway here. A few of these, not more, not one, not two, not three.
I want to give 10 away.
We're gonna give 10 away. To enter,
do we have 10?
Hopefully,
we have 10.
We'll order more if we don't. We want you to help us help you get a hat. So
help me help you.
In the email that goes out tomorrow and the links that I'll post after this goes up, to enter this contest, if you could leave us a review on Google and Facebook.
Both.
that would be awesome.
Google and Facebook.
And you know, it would help us marketing-wise. It would help spread the word about us. And because, I mean, you know what? We don't want to go leave a bunch of fake reviews. We're not that kind of company.
We want real reviews as long as they're 5 stars.
So I thought that would be an interesting way. We did this before for an Echo once, I think. So, yeah. And shipping-wise, this may be a U.S.-only contest. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into rates across the sea.
Yeah, so this would be a little easier because we're not doing this with we're not ordering this from like Amazon or anything. But you know,
you can also pick them up if you're in the area.
Yeah,
Myrtle Beach.
We may have another contest coming in the fall that would let you pick things up easier depending on what we do in the fall.
Oh, you're talking about the getaway?
Maybe a big. Look, I'll wear it in the back of my hat. Look at that.
You are putting it on.
Didn't mess up my hair.
It looks like a train conductor.
Yeah.
All right, the way you had it like up like that. All right,
so, anyway,
so 10
I will
hats.
leave those reviews.
10 hats,
links.
10 giveaways, 10 hats that we're giving away, shipping it to you, and we will for if you leave a Google and a Facebook review. We will cross-check and, of course, make them great. And then we will make you great by wearing a great hat. Make it great again. All right.
That's a scary person.
Are you showing this? What are you showing?
I was going to get the links. You want to introduce the next segment here?
All right. Lexa skill stumper. All right. So we have
Same song every week.
Is it the same? I don't think so. All right.
Super consistent.
Alexa Skill Stumper has come to be a fan favorite, so we want to make the fans happy. So we do this for you. Much love. All right. Alexa Skill Stumper. So this is a segment where we give each other an industry, and the other has to come up with some ideas, creative ideas for that industry through using a custom skill or a flash briefing skill or both. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I answered that question.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Hat manufacturer.
I knew you were going to pick it because I just looked at it like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, my gosh. Hat manufacturer. All right.
Or hat store.
Savannah, be thinking of an industry for me. All right.
Like you make custom hats. There you
go. Making custom hats.
Custom hat dealer.
Man. Okay. All right. Well, from a this is hard. I mean, because it is basically a product, and I guess you could really get into. I think with the flash briefing side, the uniqueness of a hat.
I might get a point this week. I might get a point.
You might get a point. All right. Hold on. I just got to tune in. I really got to get in here.
Updates on shipping would be nice.
Not that through your custom skill, yes. All right, so custom skill. Obviously, you're putting your brand, you're building your brand out there. I think you could really benefit from running some marketing campaigns and I would run hat giveaways through Alexa, and of course you can connect this. I think you connect your skill. I think you can do this into your Amazon store. For shipping, ordering, and all that kind of thing. I think you can do that through the custom skill section. Don't put it over my face. That's how I can tell. All right. So if you have a custom hat, custom skill design, I think asking random questions about types of hats would be a cool Q&A for a custom hat maker. Really, what was the most popular hat in 1849? Style of hat. I'd want to know that. I don't know if it was a cowboy hat or was it those bowlers. I think you could get really unique. Calm down. You get really unique. She's excited. I think you get really unique and niche-ish with hat trivia.
Niche-ish. That's a new word.
Niche.
He just invented himself a word.
I do that all the time.
Copyright SoundUp.
All the time. I think you could get really unique with hat trivia and knowledge. I think you could build a game that could be like Hats of History. Hats of
History.
History.
It would happen eventually.
Hats of History.
You won't lose.
Moving into just looking at hundreds of years of hats and where the progression is, and you could make games and trivia game on there for people to play about popular hats. Now, flash briefings would be a little bit different. You could either go the branding route and do event and collaboration. I think a podcast would be really cool with talking with people that use hats either in their careers or in their profession. You could actually get some athletes on there. I mean, think about baseball players. You could be interviewing famous people, influencers on podcasts, fashion models or influencers in that realm. And just trend sets with hats. We argued the other time, literally when these hats came in, about flat bill versus curved bill, and seeing what's in right now culturally, I think would be kind of cool. And flash briefing as well, I think you could have some special episodes where you do actually talk about how hats could build your business as far as swag. Listen to me, because I'm seeing... we got this from Shred Media, some of our member community, about how they're wearing hats as one of their biggest promo things when they're on stage at functions, either speaking or on panels. And I think if you were a custom hat maker and you could get people to wear their brand through your hat on their content or in their arenas or where they're talking to, I think you could kind of start building your brand through that and talk about that on a flash briefing short segment. Who wore my hat this week? Well, at the Inman conference in California.
You were so close to this one actual reason I thought about this before I looked at that hat. I actually had this idea because
Whatever.
Listen, no, listen, Linda. because I think I ordered these hats, the internet tracked me. And the other day, a video popped up on how to care for your hat.
Ooh.
And so I watched this hat video, and then this guy has a YouTube channel of all these different types of hats and materials and how to take care of them. Blew my mind a little bit. And shoes and stuff, like how to apply stuff to your leather shoes and stuff, and these weird tools that they have for hats and stuff. I went down the rabbit hole. Did not know that industry within an industry kind of existed. So you could do weekly tips for hat care and things like that. It was very interesting. Like the thing that he had for the bill that like cleaned the bill without messing. I don't know. It was didn't know that it was a thing. Apparently there was his video, and then other ones popped up too. Like there's multiple people that do this hat stuff. Like a hat connoisseur, I guess.
That sounds like a collaboration that if you're like a manufacturer, like you build custom hats, but then you work with this person that does cleaning supplies for hats, or this person that does care, and like you could kind of create a collaboration. Maybe you could create, because if there's not enough content for just your flash briefing or podcast, you collab and you get more content from other companies or similar in the industry and stuff, and work together.
So
work
I'm not
together,
a
people.
hat. I used to actually have a lot of hats, and then someone told me that hats make you go bald. So I stopped wearing hats for a while.
Told me that too.
Yeah,
And
so I didn't wear hats
to my
for
brother Tim. He wore
few-
hats all the time, and he's bald in the back.
Oh, I thought it was fake.
No, I think it's. The
I started wearing hats again like a couple years ago. Now I'm.
Well, no, I'm just saying like he wore them like 24/7.
Oh yeah. I didn't do that. Oh, actually, I did. I wore hats a lot. This is probably even before I met you. So I wore hats all the time. And I just stopped, and I don't even know where any of those hats are. And then a couple of years ago, I started wearing hats kind of again. I wear them sparingly, but
If we could insert a video right here, I would put the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 scene where Groot has the hat and explains why he doesn't like hats. It's hilarious. Go watch it.
Anyway,
All right, moving on.
So I think there's definitely stuff if you're one of those hat type. There's hat collectors.
I think I killed it on that. I'm just
did good.
Okay, all right.
A lot better than you started off. It was rocky, but then
rocky.
You
got honed in.
Yeah,
you gotta get that mental ASS going.
No,
all right. So Alexa Skill Stumper. This is something we've done. What are you laughing at? This is
I'm
something
just ready for it.
We've done.
I feel like I'm on like a Nickelodeon show. He's about to drop slime on me.
Listen. We've done this in one arena. But I've gone through footage because we're editing these. We're posting these, by the way, our Alexa Skill Stumper segments. That's 4 S. That's 3 S's. ASSS, Alexa Skill Stumper segment. That's probably what we should have done the acronym. So we did this. We did this once in a very specific realm. We did not do it in this other realm. So I'm going to move it over into this. We did vocal coaching. Mm-hmm. But what about people that teach instruments? Say like a drummer has drum lessons. I was in guitar center the other day, and I saw these like lesson board stuff for like guitar lessons, drum lessons. So like instrumentation, not vocal, but instrumentation. Like I give instrument lessons, piano lessons. How can I use flash briefings and Alexa skills?
Well, I think it depends a little bit too on if you need to see certain things, maybe. I know some people can only read music; they can't really hear music. I think it depends. I do play music, but I can play something by listening to it. But I know I've learned over time there's some people that you can play a note and they'll never figure out what note that is. So I think it depends on the type of person, because absolutely if there was like a guitar riff or like a piano part and it was like a weekly learn to play type kind of thing, that would be kind of cool. If it's like, all right, we're going to use these chords and here's the progression, here's how it sounds, and it's kind of like a play along thing, that'd be a really cool flash briefing actually. Like just like a riff of the week, that'd actually be kind of fun. Or if you had your students could submit a riff and then that plays for the week or something. I don't know. There could be some fun stuff with that. But the problem you would run into is the people that can't hear it. I guess it really just depends on what angle you want to take with that. So when we played, we wanted to play that How to Save a Life song. I never played piano. I figured it out just because that's how my brain works. You put the music in front of me, I wouldn't have done anything. I had to have it next to me, listening to it and playing it, and that's how I figured that out. But I don't think you could do a tuner. I don't.
See, I disagree. That
think
was
you
the
could do a
first thing
tuner?
that moved in my mind, because when I go on YouTube and I look up tuning,
You could
I
play
don't look
an A.
at it,
Okay.
I hear it.
Right. But some people can't do that either. That was my next point. Is
But I mean, that's tuning in general.
When we would tune, because that's how we actually met was music. When we would tune, I'd say play your E string, right? And you would play it, and I would tune to that string. That's how we did the tuning, because neither of us had tuning pedals. But
I know. Remember, I wish snooks would have been invented then. It would have been so much easier. You know what snook is? Like you just attach it onto the snook. It's a snook. It's a tuner. It's like a real cheap, but it's a very popular brand of tuner that you put on your... Anyway.
Not seen it yet. But there's a lot of people, too, and maybe that would help train people by ear, maybe, if you could say, open Guitar Pro, and I need to tune my string, and it says, here's the E sound, say next when ready type thing. You could do that. That would actually be way more convenient than the other day. I picked up the iPhone, and for some reason it deletes apps, and it says, you need to reinstall this app. My tuner wasn't installed, and I had to wait for it. If I could have said Google play an E chord, would have been great.
Okay, so I see how you're doing it. You're using a tuner like on your phone or that kind of stuff to like visually hit the string and see if it lines up with the thing.
I think a lot of people do it that way.
Okay, so when I search on YouTube, it's not like if you're searching on YouTube, YouTube's not hearing you. So like there's tons of tuner tutorial videos. So in my mind, I was thinking like that. Like
I do it when recording.
Like that.
I visualize it when I record, because then if I'm going to add piano, it has to be perfectly pitched. Mm-hmm. Because if I do it by ear, it might be a little flatter.
Right.
So if I'm recording something, I have to have.
But if you're just quick, if you're just a quick tune.
If I'm quick tuning, I'll just do it without anything, and I'll just like, this sounds like a chord.
Yeah.
But then again, that's different. I think it would be really neat to have an app where you could say an E note, because then if you're a singer, you could actually practice along. Now, Alexa doesn't give the capability of being able to listen, but you definitely have it where you could sing, like, play an E, and then you're like, E. I don't know if that's actually E or not, but something like that is my thought. So I think there's definitely things you could do as a musician teacher. That's actually... I do remember doing the
musical
vocal
instrument.
Musical instrument, yeah. Techniques depend. I think it goes instrument by instrument. If you're teaching somebody something on a flute and they need to see how they need to lift their finger or whatever, maybe that you might want to visualize. I don't know how to play the flute. I don't know if that's what you do. I see people play the flute, and it looks like they're just pressing the same thing, so I have no idea how the notes change on a flute.
Yeah.
But
I think you could go back to your hat thing about maintenance. Instrument maintenance. I think beyond just learning the instrument about the instrument, but this is probably a good... we're getting live studio on here. This is probably a good way to have some very audio-focused functionalities as far as in your business and in your brand, and building your brand and trying to get students and helping students, and building a community around the Alexa device or Google device. But also, I think it's something that you need to have a conjunction strategy with visual. So, like promoting your, hey, go to the video of the week on my YouTube channel here, like if you're doing a podcast, flash briefing, or that kind of stuff, to see more or to see how to do this. But like, here's a segment, and I think you start working your strategy together of audio and visual in this kind of realm, and use them in conjunction. So, our audiogram function. Having the sound, but the video behind it of kind of seeing.
You could do the shape
segments.
of the chord on the guitar or on the piano.
Yeah, or this like progression GDC, and like they see that in the that could be a 1 minute post on Instagram.
See, now my brain
audio.
wants to go make one of these.
Oh my
We're
goodness.
gonna build one just to show you.
I think so. If you have friends or that kind of stuff that are musician teachers, they teach drums, they teach keyboard, piano, guitar, that kind of stuff. Send them to SoundUp, because I think we can help them out.
Yeah, this is a super special edition long episode.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. We just broke the 30-minute mark. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of SoundUp Sound Off. We will check you next Tuesday. Don't forget to get your hats.
Blurry hats.